see if I can magnetize this on my toolbox here. What the frick? This is not, I should have done this before. Let's see here. Oh my gosh. Do this so I don't have to hold the camera. Of course, as soon as I start this live stream, there is fire. I can. It's kind of annoying. It's America. Do what you want. All right. What the flip? Get this on here. All right. Let's see if this works. Will this work? Oh, yes. I don't have to hold the phone now. This is great. All right. What's up, everybody? I'll let some people join. I am late. I apologize. Had to take care of some stuff. Wife had a doctor's appointment. Had to get some food. It's been a long day. Been trying to help some people out. My best friend from high school, his father-in-law, came by first thing this morning. Actually, probably the biggest vehicle we've had on here. Nothing crazy, but it's like a brand new Toyota Tundra. Put some wheel spacers on. He's super excited about how it looks. That being said, went from that to looking at another house. It wouldn't. I moved to. I love this place too much now. As you can see, the shop behind me that I'm currently in, I love way too much now to leave behind. Put way too much work into this place. Let me add some more magnets to this. Oh yeah, it's gonna be it. This is the ticket right here. Oh dang it! One short. Here we go. You guys can't really see what I'm doing, but I'm putting these little neodymium, nitium, whatever they're called, magnets on here. I have a piece of metal on the back of my. Oh my gosh! I have a piece of metal on the back of my phone, and because of my phone mount in my car, so this allows me. Boom! Perfect. It's a little overkill for what I want to do. What up, Dark Blaze? Yeah, so the whole point of this was I was kind of bored, and if any of you guys saw my post from the other night, we went back to the track to try and run 10s. Can't see the Trailblazer. It's like, there's my shop door. It's sitting outside. I finally started unloading it today from sick week. It's been pretty busy. My shop's a mess. We kind of left it a mess. And thanks, Roam Free. What's up, Michael? So anyway, went back to the track, shooting for a 10, and kind of went the wrong direction. So Jeremy sent us a new tune, and it was a little bit more aggressive trans tune. It was probably like the hottest weather I've tried to race the Trailblazer in. And I drove the Trailblazer to the track with the sick week trailer and everything. I was trying to like emulate being at sick week. But then I didn't buy any ice, and I just tried to race it like on regular water, which I still want to do. It'd be nice. You know, in my opinion, you can't say like a car is a 10-second car if to make it run a 10, you have to like completely gut it. You have to be in like ideal track conditions, this, that, and the other. So that's why, for those that are wondering like why I haven't like completely taken all the seats out and stuff to get it, that's why. Like I want it to run a 10-second pass full weight, so I can like legitimately say like, all right, this thing is a 10-second car because it did it full weight. After that, sure, like I'm all about trying to like shave some weight, really see like what we can do. But until then, I really want to run a 10-second pass like full weight. If that requires us to turn it up, this, that, and the other, play little games, that's fine. I just want it to run a 10 being a pig that it is. Am I going to do Rocky Mountain Race Week at the end of March? Probably not. I've never done it. It would be really cool to do it, but I didn't sign up. I've never done any type of like Midwest type of drag week, but I really wanted to do Six Summer this year, and I kind of slept on the registration, so I did not get in. And TO to Six Summer, since I did not get into Six Summer, it's kind of nice because I don't have to like rush to get it done. So I want to take my time. Florida went from winter to summer in a couple weeks. Yeah, dude, you ain't lying. Like, it was glorious weather. Honestly, like, my blood is thinned out. So like, I am like able to say like I'm full Floridian. Like, I was in the military. I was stationed in Virginia. I was in Chicago. We used to live in Pennsylvania when I was younger, like in middle school. And like, I like the cold. Like, I'll go snowboarding and stuff. But like, being in Florida, like majority of my life, it doesn't take long to come back down here to get like reacclimated. And then as soon as like, and the cold down here, to be fair, is like a different kind of cold than like when you're in Texas. Like, because the humidity down here is so high, it's like a wet cold. It sucks. Like, it's, I don't know. I'm sure there's some people like up north that don't want to hear it at all, but to me, it's cold. Um, but anyway, like, I didn't want to rush to get the GTO done because there's a lot of cool stuff I want to do to it. Like, we're gonna put a cage in it. I want it to be like a street car, like AC and heat and stuff like that. And it's gonna be a lot easier to do in that than it is the Trailblazer because of just where stuff is on the firewall. If I ever come up down near DFW, Texas, you got plenty of help and support. Oh, sweet, man. That's actually where my parents live. My parents live in Fort Worth. So, and my sister and my brother. Um, but yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, so part of this live stream is to kind of talk about like, you know, what we experienced on Sick Week, maybe some of the stuff you guys didn't see, some of the stuff I didn't cover. I do appreciate everybody's support in the videos. I know that the videos like weren't edited like super great, but that's also because most of the time that editing was done between like 11 and 1 in the morning. So like 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. Like, one of the videos has the same clip in it, like a minute and a half apart. And I actually just kind of left it there because A, I'm kind of too lazy to go back and I got to do it in the YouTube editor, which I don't like. And B, it's just kind of funny. Kind of like a reminder, like, hey, man, I'm just a human. But some of the stuff, like, you know, we went through, like, I didn't do as good of a job because, like, sometimes when stuff comes up, I just want to, like, get it fixed. I don't want to, I don't have the time to, like, go grab the camera and, like, show every little thing. So, you know, I think I did show, though, like, we had a brake pad on the outside wear out bad on the rear wheel. So, like, that rotor is kind of scored up. Mainly because the slider on the rear caliper was bad. Now, a lot of people, maybe not in YouTube, but a lot of people like on the Trailblazer SS and the Trailblazer forums were like calling me crazy or calling me brave for driving the Trailblazer that far with drag brakes on it. So I kind of wanted to touch base on that. So the Trailblazer still has ABS, right? The ABS reluctor wheel is in the hub. So that's a part of why I wasn't like super nervous, because if I really were to get on the brakes hard, ABS is still going to do its job. And actually, like, I tested it and it worked fine. Now, I wasn't 100% sure of like the front rear bias and like what it was going to do with the drag brakes, but to be honest, like, I checked the pads on like day 3 and day 4 after, you know, at that point like 7 or 8 passes and 700 or 800 miles, and it was fine. Like, so for anyone that's curious of like how the drag brakes work on the front of that with the rear stock brakes, and the fact that it's, you know, on the track, it's 4,900 pounds race weight with me in it at like 3/4 of a tank. But on the street with the trailer, I mean, it had to have been with myself, with Scott, all the tools, spare wheels, the trailer, everything. We're probably looking at like, I mean, easily 6,000 pounds, gross combined vehicle weight. So, you know, for it to be a 6,000 pound unit driving completely fine with the TBM front brakes, like, I gotta give them a huge shout out. Like, I get paid nothing, right? TBM and Motion are like way up here with like the level of company and quality and people that they sponsor, right? I'm like way down here. So like, I don't want anybody to think like I don't get paid for anything I say. I just speaking on my experience. So they were great, and I wanted to touch base on it because so many people thought like it was going to be wild, it was going to be nuts, like we're going to be like, I don't know, like every time I hit the brakes, it was going to be like hitting the brakes on ice, which is not true. Like, it was perfectly fine. That being said, other things on sick week that happened. Let's think. Scott trolled me because I fell asleep in bed one time, like real early, and I don't know what I was doing. He put like Cheez-Its on my chest and took a picture. So just so funny. Why run the race brakes? I wanted to run them because in the stock brakes, A, you can tell that they fade at the top of the track, like getting on it. And B, probably more importantly, is it was so much of a weight savings in unsprung weight. So if you didn't see that video, like it was like a 30, I don't know if it's 30 pounds or like 25 pounds, somewhere between 25 and 30 pounds of weight savings per wheel. So like roughly 60 pounds total for both. But like when you can save that much weight in unsprung weight, it's almost like double for sprung weight. And then, if you don't know the difference between sprung weight and unsprung weight, sprung weight is like anything that the suspension is supporting, right? So like anything on the body, like if I replace the hood with a carbon fiber hood, that is sprung weight. But anything that's like rotational, that like the suspension doesn't directly support the weight of, that is unsprung weight. And that weight is really hard to remove. So that's like wheels, tires, axles, brakes, the suspension components themselves. So yeah, I was really a fan of that. Now they don't currently offer a rear brake kit, but we're trying to work with TBM to make a rear brake kit, which I'm really excited about because saving that much weight in the front and getting that much weight saved in the rear will help acceleration that much more. I broke up, didn't hear your response to the question. Would be cool to see there? Oh, nice. Were you the one that asked about Rocky? Unfortunately, I'm not going to be there. I didn't get registered in time, and I haven't registered for Midwest Drag Week, to be honest, or any race event. I tried to get into Six Summer, and I was too late. So, unfortunately, no, I will not be there. I will not be swapping back to the OE brakes for regular daily driving. And to be honest, I don't really daily the Trailblazer. If I do drive it, it's going to be like once or twice a week to work, and I work like 25 minutes away. So it's not like a crazy big deal to just run the drag brakes. Besides, like, I feel like there's two different types of drivers. There's people that like really like live on people's front or rear bumpers, and they're always hitting the brakes. And there's people that try to give space. I'm more of the like, I want to give you space. Kind of hard in Florida because like as soon as you give space between you and the guy in front of you, someone just darts in. So you wind up hitting the brakes anyway. But I mean, like I said, after like 1,400 total miles, most of those with the trailer weighing 6,000 pounds, and the brakes are fine. The pads still have, they look brand new still. It's going to be easy to drive it on the street, at 4,900 pounds total race weight. So I'm pretty stoked. Now, if TBM offered like the XSE brakes, which is like, it's like a billet caliper, it's more like just an upgraded brake option, I would definitely run those because those are just sick. And obviously, sure, they're probably better for like emergency stopping and clamping load and stuff like that. But I'm just going to run the drag brakes for now. You got to remember, like the Trailblazer SS, which they originally marketed for, is like, I don't know. They only made it for like 3 years, right? 06, 07, 08, 09, 4 years. Now, they're now aware that all of the SS and regular Trailblazer stuff share the same components. So I told them, like, you guys can market it to everything. Although there's probably like 2 people racing the non-SSs, which is Calvin and me. And I know there's other people out there too, but like bringing it to a track and racing it, like willing to put drag brakes on it, yeah, probably Calvin and me. There's still spots for the night crew. Normally there's 2 events every year for Rocky Mountain Race Week. They combine the 2 for the 10th anniversary. If you register, you'll get in. I'm going to have to look into that. I will look into that actually after this video. I do have some life events though happening this year. Part of this, I haven't even really announced this to like a lot of people that we know, like a lot of our family knows and stuff, but this year our family is growing, so that's going to kind of change some of what I wanted to do this year. So next year is going to be like, I feel like a super, super mild year for events because having 3 kids is like wild. Thank you. Yeah. So we're not only are we going to have 3 kids, we're going to have 3 kids under 5. So my oldest is about to turn 4 in like 4 days. Our youngest currently is like 15 months old. So she turned 1 in November. So whatever now plus that is, right? So yeah, 15 months, I guess. I hate counting the months. Thanks. And then the new edition is due in September. So good thing it's due in September because I still plan to go to Atlas Nationals. So if you guys are part of this channel and you like the Atlas content, I highly recommend Atlas Nationals. I don't think he's released the date, but I can tell you it's in August. It's at Killcare Raceway in Ohio. Calvin will be there. I will be there with the Trailblazer. Maybe the GTO, depending on where we're at. I doubt I can bring both, so I'll probably have to pick one. It would be super gangster to tow the GTO up there with the Trailblazer and bring both, but that's a lot of weight, and plus my family was thinking about coming. So if my family comes, I'm probably just going to tow the Trailblazer up there because Calvin and I are probably going to race Trailblazers, and I don't want to risk driving it up there. My luck, something would break when I'm like super far from home, which is, by the way, it's like 14 hours from here. So anybody that's saying like they want to come, but it's kind of far, and you're within like 8 or 9 hours, I don't want to hear it. You guys can go. I mean, I get it. It's a big commitment. It's only a 1-day event though, which is nice, and it's on a weekend. So if you guys want to come, that super supports the platform. This will be the 2nd year. The 1st year was pretty successful for the most part. Geez, there's like a helicopter or airplane or something. Let's see what this is. I've never seen a helicopter like that close to my house. Like I walked out. The only reason I had to go look is because it was wild. But anyway, the Calvin versus me, the Tyson versus Holyfield. Yeah, I feel like the only way I'm gonna win is if I bite his ear off, because his Trailblazer is gonna be something like next level, and I doubt that there are some changes I want to make to the Trailblazer, but I still don't want to put a built motor in it yet. Like taking that motor out to build it is not fun. You can ask Calvin. Pulling the motor out of that thing is kind of a pain. But I would like to put a set of cams in it. If I can get that done before Atlas Nationals, that would be great. We'd pick up some power, and then it would also sound pretty cool. We did also try to put like a ghost cam tune in it, so we were slightly successful. Scott is pretty good at tuning, so he knows like a lot of little tricks, and we were messing with one of the idle settings, trying to make it chop when we were in park and neutral, and it sounded pretty funny. It was, it sounds like a Cam Supra. It's like bop 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 bop. So I wanted to sound like that all the time. I don't know how the aggressive Schneider regrounds actually sound, but yeah, that's true. I don't like pulling motors very often, but I will say I have oh, I gotta text my father-in-law real quick. I don't even know if I can do that when I'm on the, yeah, I can't text him right now because I'm doing this video. Anyway, I do have an idea that I've already floated by Calvin, and I gotta tell you, it's like, it is a wild idea. It involves an Atlas, and it involves, I don't want to give too much away. I may not do it, so I just know it would be like kind of a risk. It'd be a lot of work to do to essentially have the reaction flop, but I think it would really ruffle a lot of feathers, and I think it would also piss off like a really large crowd of people. So I have this, and I told my wife tonight, and she's like, yeah, like, she's like, I kind of want to see it happen.
So yeah. Oh, that's one of the, yeah. So Calvin's doing the Mark III Supra. I really like, so I have like three ideas. And one of them is the one of them that involves like the most monetary commitment is buying a Mark IV Supra and putting an Atlas in it. I love Mark IV Supras. And what's funny is like if we put an Atlas in a Mark IV Supra and you go to the track and you race it, you wouldn't, like, most people aren't going to know that it doesn't have a 2J in it, right? Because like when I was at the track the other night trying to grab a 10, I did a huge burnout. I hit the limiter a couple times and I rolled out of it. And even the timing guy, it wasn't like a super big busy testing tune, but the timing guy walks up to me. He's like, "Hey man, this thing got a 2J in it?" Like I had to roll down the window and I'm like, "No man, it doesn't." Like I had to do like my 30-second like TED talk and explain to him, "No, it's just a GM inline six. It sounds like a Supra kind of, but it's not." But like if in a Supra and you do a burnout and you hit the limiter, Supra things, because it's an inline six. But then you pop the hood, and that's the next funny thing, is there's so many people that walk by the Trailblazer on Sick Week. They're like, "Yo, man, has that got a 2J in it?" I gotta tell them like, no, it doesn't. And I don't know who that is. And I gotta, so many people are like, "Man, has the thing got a 2J?" I'm like, "No, it's not a 2J." So like a lot of people don't really know what like a 2J looks like. And one guy, actually a group of people, they were really cool in Gainesville. We wound up like going to the checkpoint with them. I feel bad because I don't remember any of their names, but they were super cool. The one guy, he was like, "I don't think that's a 2J," and Damon Elf's Supra was like, 30 yards away. So like he went and looked at the Supra and he came back and he's like, "Dude, if you look at a Supra, like if you look at an actual 2J compared to the 4200, the 2J looks like tiny. Like it's like so little. The 4200 is big. Like it is the big block of inline sixes, which if Calvin does not come out with that shirt soon, I'm going to come out with it because like it is so true. The Barra, the 2J, nothing is bigger than like 3.4 liters. I don't think. I don't know what the Barra is, but like the Atlas being a 4.2 liter is like, it's just massive. It has a ton of displacement. It's a huge inline six. So the Mark 4200, I do like that guy. But anyway, okay, so I'll just tell you guys because I don't know how many people watch the live streams after I post them anyway. So that's the most monetary commitment that I could have, right? Mark IV Supra, which like even a stock automatic right-hand drive is like, 30 grand. It's a lot of money to buy a car that needs like a bunch of work to even make it fast. Like if I put a motor in it, put the turbo, route everything, whatever, that's great. But like you still need a trans. I have no idea what the Mark IV rear end can hold. Like there's so much, then it's like you're starting from scratch because then you have to buy a standalone. Because if I'm going to go that route, I'm not going to use a stock computer. I really like the stock computer, especially in the Atlas, or in the Trailblazer, because it's how it came. It's super nice. It controls the 6080, which I love. But if I'm going to go through like that level of build, I'm going to go do some like crazy, stupid stuff. So my other idea, which involves also some money, probably a lot less effort, a lot less money, and I have a lot of stuff here already, is that. So I don't know how many people in the channel like pay attention to the combination that's in this car or how fast it's been. So I currently have my 93 Cobra listed for sale. The 93 Cobra has a 25.5 cage in it. It's rated 750. It has a built turbo 400 in it. The car has been on a stock long block Coyote. It has been 862 in the quarter. My idea is I already plan on selling it, and I can fully reverse anything that I do. But it has a full Holley in it. It has an X-Max, so it can control a drive-by-wire throttle body. Is buying a second Holley harness that I would have to wire myself and wire it for an Atlas, take the Turbo Coyote combo out, Leave everything else. Leave the trans, the drive shaft, all that stuff, because I'm pretty sure that the length is going to be the same. Build some motor mounts. Drop it in. Tune the Holley now for the Atlas. And I can reuse like the intercooler, like the cooling system is there. I can literally reuse everything and see if I can go faster on a stock sealed 4200 than I can a stock sealed Coyote. I think that would be a really cool comparison, and I think it would be absolutely nuts. Like, I didn't even want to tell anybody this. I just wanted to do it. But I'm just so on the fence. Like, that's a big commitment. I have to pull the for sale ad because I don't want anybody saying like, hey, I want to buy your Cobra. I'm like, well, I'm in the middle of doing this swap that like nobody in history would ever do. So come back in like 8 months. But yeah, so that's my that's my TED Talk. It's my idea. I floated this idea to a couple people and they all think it's awesome, but it is involved. Now, hearing it do a burnout would be wild. Like, people would be like, oh man, is that a 2J? That'd be the number one question. Because like, what other inline six are you going to put into a 93 Cobra, if any, right? So that, I don't know, it would just be wild. It already has a built transmission. It already has a built cage. It has a built rear end. Like, that car now makes probably close to 1,000 wheel with the Coyote in it. I don't know what it would weigh difference. I don't know what the weight difference would be between the Atlas and the Coyote. Probably not too much. I know the weight difference between an LS and an Atlas is like negligible. The Coyote probably does weigh more, probably not by much. So, and it has a really, really, really good weight bias to it currently. So I don't know. I think it'd be cool. I can't stop thinking about it. I think it would really, like, you guys got to understand, like, if you're not from Mustangs, the Mustang community, like the Mustang crowd is huge. So like the amount of people it would piss off is just like astronomical. And like, there are already some people that are like, oh, I can't believe you didn't keep that thing. I can't believe you didn't keep that thing stock with its 225 horsepower, high output 5-liter push rod 302. And I'm like, well, A, I didn't buy it stock. I bought it with a Coyote in it. And then there are some people who are like, okay, well, like, you swapped a Coyote in it. At least you kept it Ford, right? Like, then that argument's out the window. So if you're like, man, you pulled out the Coyote motor to swap in a GM motor, but you didn't even put an LS in it. You put in a 6-cylinder GM motor. I can only imagine people's brain just like melting at the fact that that thing would have a 4200 in it. So that is that's my idea. I think it would be hilarious. I will tell you now though, if I do it, I will not film it like I filmed the Trailblazer. I will not film an intro video. I will not film like I did the GTO or the 240, like when I introed those. I will just do it. And the video that comes out will be like a different style video I've never done. It'll be a lot of footage of just showing, like, it'll be pretty much like, this is us at the track with the 4200, hopefully running like an 8-second pass. How did we get here? And then I would show everything that we did. That's how that would be. So nobody would really know about it. It would just be done. But that's, now that I got kind of off track here, I do want to talk about some stuff that I am planning on doing, and how, if anybody really, if you want to support this channel specifically, it's kind of an ask because not a lot of people care. These videos don't really do super well, but I love the Grassroots event. This is where I met Calvin. Calvin and I met each other at the Grassroots $2,000 challenge event. So the premise is, everybody loves Cletus's $2,000, or it's not even $2,000, but his like cheap car challenge. Well, the Grassroots budget challenge has been around for 20 plus years. Like, I think it's really time now to capitalize on this and show people like, hey, this event exists and it's existed for a while. Like Calvin's done it, they've won it. I've done it, I've never won it. I've actually never podium. I've come in fourth once with my RX-7, but I am planning on like it's at the end of March. So it used to be in October, now it's the end of March. If you guys haven't seen it, I'm gonna walk you over to it now. I'm pretty happy with how it. All right, so it absolutely crushed it. So this is a 2006 Pontiac Solstice with a 1970 Triumph Spitfire body grafted to the front and rear. And then we kind of just left the cabin alone. So if you guys haven't seen this car, it's a 2.4 liter Ecotec, just a 5-speed, 2.4 liter 4-cylinder. We bought it off an old guy in like Louisiana. He bought it new, never put it on. So we put it on, we tuned it through HP tuners. Thing makes like 300 horsepower, which doesn't sound like a lot, but like this car weighs nothing. And I actually wish I would have scaled it, but I didn't. It's still in the autocross tires. It hasn't really moved in like months. In fact, I haven't started it in months. But we're getting ready to put this car on the lift because we're going to do a clutch. We're going to do a couple things. We need to paint the whole car one color, which we think we're going to do with like Kubota orange, just bright orange. And yeah, we are like a front runner to win the event this year with this car. This car held the fastest time of the day in the autocross. And let me tell you, not all the cars that come to this event, 4RS that was there, we had them by like a second and a half in the autocross with this block. I cannot stress enough how badass this thing is. Like this thing will absolutely shred the autocross course. And we don't know like if panels off and like adding these heavy steel panels and just like space helped. We only put spacers in the rear, to be honest. And the car is already wide. Like we knew these cars handled, but like it's like nuts. Oh yeah, connection is bad. Sorry, because I'm like way back in the shop. The shop sucks with freaking service. This shop is like all metal. It's like a freaking Faraday cage in here. Anyway, let me turn the camera around. Oh, that's not how I do it. There we go. So 06 Solstice, 1970 Spitfire body. That is going to go back to the Grassroots Challenge this year. Painted all one color. Some minor changes. We've removed some parts, put some different parts in. I 3D printed some stuff because everything is in a budget book. So like we're hoping to win the event this year. And the way that you can support this channel if you want to is watch these videos, because people that like Cletus's cheap car challenge will love the Grassroots event. So hopefully, we can get some more traction on these videos and actually, get Grassroots some more publicity because they host an amazing event. And B, like cars like this, like this is what, in my opinion, like what hot running is all about. So like I got to meet Mike Finnegan at Sick Week this year, and like he does stuff like this all the time. Like he is like one of my biggest inspirations for automotive like tinkering. And like this is like one of the most fun cars I've ever built. It is an absolute blast. Absolutely shreds the autocross. And we did not do a good time in the drag racing. So let me just cover the event. Race day for Grassroots Motorsports, you autocross the car in the morning, and then you drag race the car in the evening. You get like 6 timed autocross runs. And then when it comes to drag racing, they just have the lanes open for like 4 hours, and you can just run your car as much as you want. So, I mean, one guy one year had like a rental Dodge Charger, and he literally hot lapped it like 32 times on the drag strip. I have no idea why, but it was hilarious. So that being said, we held the fastest time of the day until the very end of the event when my buddy Andy in his MR2 kart beat us, and then he won the overall autocross. But like we won the autocross for our class. We almost won the autocross overall, which is amazing. So like I'm really, even if we don't win the overall autocross, I know that we are in a podium spot to finish in the autocross. Now for the drag race, We did not do well because we did not have radials or slicks. We were on the autocross slicks, which do not do well on the drag strip. Like, a slick is not a slick. You cannot just say like, oh, it's a slick, it'll be fine. It's not the same compound. It does not do the same. So this year we moved some money around the budget and we actually have some slicks sitting right there. And I have some wheels that are sitting right next to it. They were free. They are off of like a 2007 Honda Civic or something. They were literally curb alert. The grassroots event takes place in Gainesville every year. So the autocross paddock is in the normally like the pit area for the drag racing, and it's a huge autocross. And then everyone moves down, and then obviously the drag racing is on the drag strip. And then the very next day, your car is judged in a concourse, which I forgot to mention. So the event is 2 days long. But most people that come to spectate, they just come to watch the racing, which is like, that's the most fun. So that being said, I think that like this car is like a front runner to win. I think it would do super well. I really hope that people, since they like Cletus's cheap car challenge, that they will start to like follow grassroots, because I mean, it's really cheap. All in all, like you can have your $2,000 limited to buying a car. You can't spend more than $2,000 on a car, but you can recoup up to $2,000. So you can have $4,000 total into the car. There are budget exempt items. So like one full set of tires is free. You can replace the brakes that came on the car with similar brakes for free. A bunch of safety items are free, like one set of harnesses, SFI stuff. So like I mentioned earlier, we're going to put a clutch in it. I'm going to put an SFI aluminum flywheel in it, and that is budget exempt because it is an SFI rated part. I can put an SFI balancer on it if I want. I don't really care about doing that. I really want the flywheel because I want it to make a little bit more power. And then fluids and stuff like that are all exempt. So, all right. I like the Kubota approval. Yeah, a gallon of Kubota paint is like dirt cheap. We have like, someone had bought a Kubota gallon from Tractor Supply, and I guess only used like, I don't even know, like maybe a quart of it. And we got it at a garage sale for like $10. And then what's cool is you can ration stuff in the budget. So like if I only were to use like half of that gallon that I paid $10 for, well, technically I only used $5 of it. So I can put $5 in the budget. That's how there's like a bunch of little tricks and, things. Going back over to the Cobra, by the way. So you guys are all familiar with Calvin's Fairmont. It's got the 4200 in it. It's awesome. Well, same engine bay. So what I'm proposing, yanking Turbo Coyote out, putting 4200 in, and then leaving. I think there's a lot of stuff I can reuse, like a lot. I can really leave all the turbo piping and just make like a transition piece from this pipe up to the new turbo, which would sit like somewhere right here. I'd probably have to make a new downpipe. I don't think I'd be able to come through here anymore, but I think it'd be cool. And I may have to move this radiator. Also, not terrible, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see. That's a lot of work for a potential like complete flop. But for those that aren't aware, 25.5 cage, built turbo 400, built rear end, drag brakes on all four corners, and this thing at race weight with me in it, polar opposite from that pig. 4,900 pound race weight, 2980, or no. Sorry, when we put the Turbo 400 in it, it gained weight. So this is like 3,040 race weight with me in it, like right at 3,000 pounds. And I assume that should weigh a little bit less than this. So we'd probably be under 3,000 pounds total race weight. It would be wild. I'd like to see that again. Boosted Boy Kyle, 2JZ Civic. Yeah. Looks like you're shooting for good numbers. Yeah, if we did it. Against his 2J Civic. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. I don't want to say like I'm friends with him. We're just mere acquaintances. I probably got on his nerves more than anything at sick week. But all right, let me turn this camera around as soon as I get this thing on here. What the frick? Hold on. Messing this all up. Messing this all up. All right, here we go. All right, so I think I'm going to wrap up the video here. Just kind of wanted to talk about some stuff that happened at sick week. I was a little bored. I didn't get the footage I wanted, again, from trying to go 10s the other night. We kind of went the wrong direction that way. I never finished that, so Jeremy sent us a new aggressive trans tune, and it just, like, something didn't seem right. So, like, I never made a clean pass. I did build, like, 5.5 pounds of boost on a foot brake once, which was, like, pretty wild, but, like, as soon as I let off, it just, like, lit up all 4 times. It was nuts. So I know I have a tune that works, which was the tune that was in it before that. So my plan is to go back to that tune, and the main difference is I think it lowered the rev limiter. I think the main difference is the rev limiter was higher in the more aggressive tune. The shift points were a little higher, and maybe something else. So we're just going to go back to the other tune, which I know worked really well, and then hopefully we'll get that 10-second pass soon. So that's going to wrap up this video. Thank you to everybody for all your support. Thanks for watching. I'll come out with some new footage here soon. If you guys haven't seen, Matt Rice is coming out with a Sick Week Freaks documentary. We are in that. I think he released his trailer. I'm not really in the trailer too much. I saw like a little clip of the Trailblazer in it for like a second. It was when we launched at Gainesville and spun the tires really bad and had bad wheel hop. So unfortunately not the best clip. I may not be in it at all because I know when he filmed me and got the audio when he was filming me in front of the car, it was in the staging lanes at Georgia, and like the announcer and cars were doing burnouts, and I was like, hey man, are you sure this is good? And he's like, yeah, I should cancel it all out. Well, like a couple days later I saw him and he's like, yeah, I don't know, man, we may not be able to use it, but either way, they got a lot of B-roll stuff. It'd be cool if I'm in it. If not, like, I completely get it. Actually, I'm going to message him after this because I'm curious. But that's going to wrap it up. Make sure that you guys wait for that Sick Week Freak documentary from Matt Rice. It's going to be on a bunch of different channels. It's going to be freaking awesome. Whether I'm in it or not, you should definitely go watch it. And then, again, thanks for all the support for the channel. Hopefully I'll have my website up soon so you guys can buy shirts if you guys want it. I've got a lot of people asking. Great night. Make that dream a reality. Thanks, man. Will do. Yeah, I'm going to wrap it up. My daughters just went to bed, so I'm going to go check on the wife and then shut down the shop for the night. Thanks again. Peace.